Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be answering a question from one of the viewers, Stoked Up Art. That's his name. He asks the question, he says, on his Redbubble stores, both of them, there's the same groups of people that like his work. And when I say like, I mean they hit the favorite button just like this, and just like this on both pieces of work. He says, is there some sort of coincidence? Are they using tools? Is this happen organically? What is going on? And he says it's the same groups of people over and over and over again. Well, I want to give a shout out to Stoked Up Art because I actually made this video a long time ago. Maybe like, I don't know, in the beginning of the year or something like that. I kind of laid down the whole process behind getting likes on Redbubble and why likes don't necessarily indicate sales. Now, I want to be clear. There has been a community of people on Redbubble who have been the upper echelon, the quote-unquote elites of Redbubble. Now, there's nobody who talks about this. There's not a single YouTuber who's ever spoken about this. But there are groups of people who have access to certain tools and certain softwares that we, the common folk, don't know about. We don't know how they do it. We don't know what they do. But they are doing things to be successful. I was open to this or aware of this idea few months ago when I actually learned about somebody behind the scenes who was doing certain things, so I learned about some of these things, which some of them I won't talk about. One of the things that I will talk about here today is this coincidence that certain people are liking your work over and over and over again on both stores. There's a reason for this, and it's not a secret. It's not some sort of thing that hasn't been exposed before. In fact, I exposed this a while back. So I want to be clear. Liking other people's works has benefits. So let's just use, for example, let's go to phone cases, right? And let's go to, I don't know, let's go to the best, actually, I was going to say let's go to the best-selling phone cases. Instead of the best-selling, let's go over here and take a look at the newest phone cases out in the market. Now, what I could do is I could set up a tool that will automatically like all these people's works. And I could do this just by doing this right here. I can start an automator. Let's say I want a like between every 1 to 10 seconds. And let's say I want to perform 30 likes or 30 favorites in this case. I simply hit the Start Automator button and it goes to work for me. This is not something that is behind the scenes. I've spoken about this before. There are tremendous benefits as to why people do this. Well, there is this approach called the human biases, the cognitive biases, the reciprocal biases, whatever you want to call these. One of these human cognitive biases is reciprocity bias. This happens on every social media, almost every business, and even in real life. When you do something favorable to somebody else, they're more likely to do something favorable back to you. Well, that's exactly what happens here on Redbubble. There are people who are part of this elite group that are aware of certain tips, tricks, and tactics that aren't shared here on YouTube. One of those tips, tricks, and tactics are to go out there and favorite other people's works in hopes that they get favorites back. They know that this not only grabs more attention to their Redbubble store, but more importantly, it encourages two things. When an account is getting more attention, more traffic, all this kind of stuff, Redbubble has an inherent, essentially, I guess you could say motivation from an algorithmic perspective to push your account out further. Not through organic, but through advertising. There's more money that is going to be spent on your specific account. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is that when your work gets more favorites, it ranks higher in the competition, or in the competition for the set keywords it's given. Well, what happens is these elites, and I'll show you an example of one of these accounts, these elites are going out there and favoriting thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people's works every single day, just as like I'm doing here. The only difference is, obviously, their machinery is much, much more advanced. It's not the type of machinery that we, the common folk, me and you, can get our hands on. You know, hundreds and thousands of dollars to operate these kind of things. Now, I made a video not too long ago. Maybe I'll leave the link in the description. You guys can go ahead and take a look at it, where I proved some of these accounts that are actively doing this. And Redbubble has a cool little feature in it where if you follow somebody's account, you can watch their behavior. You can watch what works they followed, or excuse me, what people they followed, what works they favorited, and the works that they posted. Well, I actually took a look at one of these accounts. One of these accounts, I will name it. It's with the name Raven's Design. That is a perfect example of this. I'm going to go ahead and stop this tool. It already did a ton of work for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop this tool. And you can see here, I don't know how many works it favored a ton, but I'm going to go over here and type in on Google incognito tab, Raven's Design. Okay? Now, I took a screenshot this morning. I took a screenshot, but also 6 months ago and I'm just going to have to pull up the account. It's somewhere here. Raven's Design Shop. I took a screenshot of this very store about 6 months ago. I don't know the exact date. I will put the screenshot on the screen now. It will say the date somewhere. So that screenshot, at the time, this store had about 40-something thousand. I don't remember the exact number, but I saved the screenshot. So this is about 6 months old if I'm relying on my memory. Something to the effect, maybe even more than 6 months, I'm not sure, but to the effect of like 40-something thousand favorites. Something like that, 40K thousand. Okay? 40,000, excuse me, 40-something thousand. Could be 49, could be 41, don't remember. Now, if we look here at this profile of this account, notice it only has 179 designs. If we look here, for example, it has 82,000 favorites. Now, really what this does is these number of favorites will go up every single day. Now, here's the thing, guys. They're not, and look at the followers, by the way, 7,715. If we look at this person's Instagram account, let's just go ahead and take a look here. Only 137 followers. So the 137 followers does not contribute to the success of this account. We can also look at their Twitter account, which is also one of the biggest websites. Only 725 followers. So once again, their social media does not contribute to the 82,000 favorites that it has received. We know that one of the characteristics that gets your art to rank well on Redbubble is favorites. This is one of the contributing factors. The reason why I know this is because I've tested it myself. I took a few pieces of art on my store. I created a bunch of other accounts, which I do have them, and favorited that specific piece of work. And I saw over time the ranking of that piece of art compared to the other pieces, which allowed that piece of art with a lot of favorites to rank upward. Now, some people might say, well, why on earth would you go favorite other people's work if you want your favorites to increase? Well, that's the whole trick. The whole trick is you go out there and you favorite other people's work in hopes that people favorite back to you. And you don't do this with 5 or 10 people you favorite. No, you do it with hundreds, if not thousands. And you do it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I proved this by following this person. And this person must have done 10 to 5,000 favorites a day to other accounts. That's how many favorites this person does. And like I said, it was in the video. So I will try to find that video and leave it in the link in the description. If you care enough to watch, it will be in the link in the description. Well, also, just to go deep, further into this aspect, I thought to myself, I said, okay, if this is what the elites are doing, if they don't put much work into an account and they're producing all these favorites to other accounts, like I said, because we can track that. We can see indeed how much favorites they're sending out, which I did in the video, like I said, and I know for a fact that they're doing favorites. We have to see the viability of this method. Let's go ahead and test any random design here. Let's go over here and go to, I don't know, let's just even look around. Let's see here. We got all kinds of different stuff. There's only 179 designs. I want to pick something that maybe doesn't get as much attention, or you see the viability of it. It might be good, it might not be good. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is Lemonade Crew peeing. Let's go, display. Okay, so you see this Lemonade Crew. This was something that was hidden. I figured, let's go ahead and take a look. let's type in the word lemonade crew, and we'll see where this individual ranks for the keyword lemonade crew. And look at that. The very first design, which is this one that's hidden, is the exact design that that person owns. So this does prove some viability, and we could do this with all the other keywords, and we could figure out what the main keywords of each design are, and we could do the research, but this just goes to prove how much attention you can grab. Now, I want you to be logical. I want you to even look at your stores. Let's say you have 1,000 favorites, 200 favorites, whatever number of favorites. Is it fair to say that the number of favorites that you have is less than the total amount of accumulated traffic that you also have? The answer is probably, right? Like, I'll repeat that. The number of favorites that you have is less in total than the number of total aggregated traffic. Probably. So my point is that if this individual, let's just say, has 100,000 visits on their store, 200,000, 500,000, right? Visits to their store, 1 million visits. How many sales could that generate? Well, we know the laws of Redbubble. We know that the more traffic you generate, the better it is for your store. Well, in that case, it increases the percent or the chance of getting a sale, right? It's basically like if you have a 5% conversion rate and you have a store that gets, let's say, 100,000 visits as opposed to 500 visits, the one with 100,000 is going to be more profitable. Even if the conversion rate is the same, it's still going to be more profitable, right? Now, just to forget about that for a second, let's go ahead and connect the dots of this concept. People like this individual, Raven's Design, this exact account, and you guys can follow this person just to go ahead and see how many people they're following on a daily basis. They're liking their work on a daily basis, right? They're going out there and they're liking these works of other people. They're waiting for their likes back. They're creating designs, and these designs are getting ranked faster than the competitors because they're getting more attention through the likes, through the favorites, etc. Mind you, this is not something that you can test over a day, 2 days, or a week, or a month. This is something that's longitudinal. It takes a long time to figure this out over a period of 5, 6 to 10 months, right? And that's when you actually get the advantage. I remember when I was talking about this actual tool and I was using it for the first time, when I was reading in the documentation of the company that released the tool, which is called the Redbubble Favorite Automator. It's in beta. It's called the botsandapps.gumroad. They were talking about how this needs to be used consistently over a prolonged period of time to actually see results, which basically goes to show the massive amount of favorites that you have to put out there to actually get a benefit. Well, in that case, I started to think. I said, okay, we know that favorites control the success. Why would I go out there and favor other people's work and spend hours and hours and hours doing it, even with the tool? I can go ahead and favorite my own work because I have so many accounts. So that's been a strategy that I've been doing. Now, other people don't have that luxury because they don't have as many accounts as I have, right? I have over 10 now. I actually have over 15, but that's not the point. I have a lot of accounts, put it this way. So I can easily share the likes between all accounts. And we know that Redbubble doesn't penalize you for this, or they don't treat you bad for this, because there are other accounts that are active, that are selling, that are doing well and ranking, that are liking literally thousands of different works every single day. So we have to connect the dots. I said, okay, since people since people are sitting there, the elites, going out there and liking other people's works in thousands, why don't I just like my own work and boost myself that way? Now, the people that don't have so many accounts on Redbubble, they could do one of two things. They could A, go out there and create more accounts, or B, and do the same exact method, or in B, do what the elites do, which is go out there and favorite so many people's works so that they can get the results of it, right? And so the point here is this a working strategy? Yes. Over a long period of time, it is indeed a working strategy. If you're going to do this and you're going to commit to it, you got to make sure you keep doing it day by day by day, week by week, month by month by month. I would say that over a 6-month period, you're going to start to see significant amount of results. For example, you might have month 1 where you generate, let's say, 50 sales. Month 2, you might generate 55 sales. Month 3, you might generate 60 sales. By the time you hit, let's say, month 7 or month 8 or month 10, you might hit 300, 400, 500 sales because that gradual increase in your rank. And it's not wise, or it's not intelligent to assume that the benefit of this is non-existent. That would be a foolish thing to assume. Redbubble implemented the feature of receiving and giving favorites for a reason, right? And that reason has to contribute to rank. The same way reviews contribute to rank on Merch by Amazon, the same way sales contribute to rank on any other platform, Merch by Amazon, TeePublic, Redbubble, and the same way that Google rewards different websites with more backlinks, right? It shows a more favoritism towards a certain website or a certain trusted outcome. With that all being said, it basically proves one thing and one thing only. The issue that you're having, Stoked Up Art, the person who asked this question, why is he seeing that the same groups of people are liking his work on multiple stores? Well, it's not because of the niches you're in, because you said your niches are completely different. It's because those people are sharks. They're dominating the waters, and they're making sure they're the same people over and over and over again, and they're going out there and engaging on the same exact accounts, and they're perfectly fine doing it. And that just gives you precedence and understanding to how effective the strategy is over a longer period of time. These accounts are doing it. They've been doing it for such a long time. You saw the numbers. 82,000 or 86,000 or whatever the number was favorites, over 7,000 followers on the account. That's huge. You're telling me when you're following a certain person on Redbubble and they post a design, when Redbubble notifies you, that's 7,000 plus emails going out. 7,000 notifications saying, hey, this person uploaded 10 new designs this week, 20 new designs, check out this work, whatever, etc. That's going to essentially help your success. Notoriety gives you success. In this case, the reason why you're getting that engagement is because these people, you're just looped into their system. I mean, put it that way, and they're engaging with you. And the truth is, you're not the only one. There's a lot of other people who are experiencing the exact same thing. Regardless of the niche, regardless of the category, regardless if your art is attractive or not, regardless if your tags are good or not, you're going to show up in the newest or the most recent released pieces of work. And when you're out there and you're creating more work, you're going to get more attention, but not the attention from legitimate customers, from sharks who know what they're doing, from people that are essentially favoriting your work so you can favorite their work back. When they get the favorites over time, that simply just adds up over and over and over and over again, so that after a long period of time, they get the effect of ranking higher. It's not some sort of coincidence. It's not some sort of, lucky situation. These guys know exactly what they're doing, and they're doing it because that's what they've always been doing to win. They utilize certain, I guess you could say, or exploiting certain untapped categories or untapped things to move forward. Now, like I said, I'm aware of some of these untapped things that people do. I just can't talk about them here on YouTube. It wouldn't make sense to do so. But regardless, with that being said, this is one of the things that has gotten out there. And it's, like I said, it's no coincidence. They're going to be, if you look at the older videos where I actually showed this for the very first time, there are people who are agreeing with me, and they were saying this exact person, Raven's Design, and the other groups of people were liking their works too. It's not a coincidence. They're doing this on purpose, and they wouldn't be doing it if it didn't help them financially, okay? So keep that in mind. Hopefully this video helps you out. This is, I guess you could say, a little odd experience for some people. A lot of people are not aware of this. Some people are aware of this. The reality, guys, is that there's always going to be the elites in every group. With Redbubble, there's so many more things that we could discover and talk about these elite type of habits. But this is one of the things that is publicized and is public and is very well, I don't want to say very well known in the gray hat community, but it is known about. Well, let's just put it that way. And like I said, this is not some sort of coincidence. Everything that was done here, and they're liking your works and all that, on both stores that have nothing to do with each other, just shows you how calculated these guys are. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.